Heyo guys.
Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, I'm Spooty, and this is WinDEU right here. And we have a super special showcase for you guys today. And I'd like to thank you all again for meeting the Mods Showcase. You will not be disappointed. That's where our hardest content is, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Commentators, if you'd care to introduce yourselves.
Sure, I'm Daikyi.
I am Taro.
And I'm ZELLLOO.
And yeah, just let me say that it is fabulous to be here. It is so great to finally be here performing for you. And of course, all of those who are in the audience at the GDQ venue, if you know the words, you can join in.
Remember to share your screen, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I will give you guys a countdown. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and pick that. I'll give you guys a countdown, and we will start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Go! Here we go. So, as alluded, you might recognize this song. And if you know the words, you can join in too. So I'll spare you the rest, but welcome to the StepMania NotITG Couples Exhibition Block. As you can see, the couple style of charting and playing is a little different than just two people playing their own charts on their own side of the dance pads, and plays much more like a specific dance routine across a shared set of 8 panels. So you can obviously see that the movements are a lot less constricted than playing on a single pad of 4 arrows, which opens the way for some really funny movements, like in the between verses where they bend down and smack the pads.
So let's go over some basic mechanics while we're all singing along here. So you're seeing each player is following a specific color arrow. Spooty's following red notes, and WinDEU's following the blue notes. And you have both their individual judgments color-coded as well on the screen, as well as their combos. So they're going to be following their own colored arrows to appropriately not get tangled up, because we don't really want to see a human pretzel in the middle of GDQ. So you'll also see 2 types of long notes. There's holds and rolls. We'll explain rolls a little bit in more detail at the next song, but they're basically just 2 types of long notes.
But check out this handstand.
Just for you.
And make sure to also watch the arms stretching through the legs.
Yeah, so the gameplay might look a little bit foreign. It's quite different from normal ITG, but both of the players are sort of trying to hit the arrows of their own color. You see WinDEU, WinDEU, the blue player, is trying to hit the blue arrows, and Spooty, the red player, is trying to hit the red arrows. Yeah, thankfully the camera's also been mirrored, so the players are on the correct side of the pad. Definitely want to be watching that body cam, because the motions involved in couples are so satisfying to look at, especially the synchronized nature of them.
Yeah, and all of this would be pretty complicated and extra. If this is anything like the previous ATTQ showcase with all the mods, it would be a terribly disastrous thing if the arrows started moving in unpredictable ways.
Oh yeah, that would be awful.
That'd be awful.
Good thing that incentive has been met. By the way, you'll also really want to meet the Sound Voltex bonus run after this. It's also going to be an amazing showcase. Alright, and in this outro you can catch a little glimpse of kind of the couple's movement, where both the players are kind of doing this like mirrored positions thing on the pad, unless they're crossing in front or behind each other. And there's just like a lot of really cool things that you can do to accent the music with 2 people moving around.
Or
By the way, I'm going to pledge this right now. I will donate $1 for every miss I get over the course of this showcase. My stats are on the left, WinDEU's are on the right.
There's a little hiccup. Sorry about that.
All right, so the last song they played was just a 7. The difficulty range goes from 1 all the way to however high you really want to make it. We're going to be going from 8 to 12 for the normal stuff. And because y'all were extremely generous and met the mods incentive, we're actually going to be playing a couple 13s during mods, so thank you for that. We always want to see more suffering on these guys.
True. And as these charts start going up in difficulty, you'll also see, I guess, the stamina component also going up pretty far, because you need really good balance to be able to accurately traverse the pad back and forth. And most of the time, they won't even be holding that support bar behind them because they need to move around each other so much. And unfortunately, you can't see their faces right now, but they're actually looking up straight at the screen and not down at the pads like at all. So mostly just relying on muscle memory in order to place their feet right. Something that's super important when it's 2 people sharing pads and not stepping on each other's feet.
So let's go over the rolls now that I alluded to in the last song. So the rolls are a special type of long note where you need to continuously tap them in order to get credit for them. And usually they're used to just hit 8th notes on them over and over. Sometimes we might just have them in place of like a buzz roll or something where you just need to keep hitting as fast as possible. But for the most part, they play a lot like normal holes, but there are some instances where continuously tapping is needed.
Right, another pattern that, well, I think we missed the one that was in the chart. I don't remember if there's another one coming up, but there's the concept of a foot switch, which we will talk about probably in song 4.
Or
A couple different kinds of orbs you can get for clearing the rooms.
All right, we're moving up to 9s. Shouts to Telefron for this chart.
Yeah, big shout outs to Telefron, one of our great community members. So for this showcase, we wanted to kind of diversify the kind of music we've had. We've had the DK rap. We have some other video game tracks, and especially VGM remixes are really common and easy to get a hold of, and they also generally make really good files to make for playing. So we actually have this really awesome Ghosts and Goblins theme remix by Arm, a very well-known remixer and artist in the music game community. And we'll definitely be picking at more VGM remixes later.
And this is coming up, but we'll see sections with more than 2 notes of one color at once. And those are right there. So they have to do kind of like extra stomps to hit all 3 at the same time by stepping on kind of the corner in between the 2 notes, otherwise known as a bracket. So it's like for big emphasis kind of notes to make sure that the players know that, yes, this is a really big hit in the song, and we're going to accent it like that.
Right, and also, if you watch the body cam, you'll notice that the player in front, when the player behind has to pass behind them, the player in front will actually have to duck down because the players are looking at the screen, and because of the height difference, if the taller player is in front, the behind player actually can't see the screen. That's like another thing that you need to consider when you're writing and playing charts in couples. Yeah, big fan of this remix though. It's probably my favorite.
It's good.
Crossbeat song.
I think we have time for 1 donation.
Sure thing. We've got $300.30 from Telperian, who says, if somebody once told me that couples dance would be on the GDQ stage, I'd be the happiest tool in the shed or something. I'm unbelievably jet lagged. I can't think of anything else to say. Good luck, Spooty and WinDEU.
So that was actually the person that wrote this chart that donated, the chart that's being played right now.
All right.
Almost went the wrong way.
Oh, shine
All right, this one's a song from the Club Fantastic. Shout outs to the Club Fantastic team.
Yep. So, as Spooty just said, this is a song made specifically for a project called Club Fantastic. Fantastic specifically is the best judgment that you can get in this game. But this is part of like a free and stream safe set of songs specifically made for StepMania. And at risk of sounding like a cheesy advertisement, this song and many more are available at clubfantastic.dance. Download now and bring home the club.
True.
And now we have foot switches, Taro.
Right. Yes. So I mentioned earlier, because the second song had a foot switch in it. A foot switch is actually where you have one panel that has 2 consecutive arrows on it, and you need to hit those 2 consecutive arrows with different feet. And you need to do this in order to maintain your foot parity, i.e. which foot is hitting which arrow. That way you don't get lost in the sauce, because being on the wrong foot parity is a great way to test out real life's collision detection. We can't have 2 players being in the same place at the same time, so if you're on the wrong feet, you're going to be standing in the wrong place. And couples is pretty much, it's just like regular doubles, except there's an 80 to 120 pound projectile moving around the pad that you need to be aware of at all times.
Yeah, as you can see, the theme of this chart is particularly the foot switching technique, where the players are circling around each other, mostly being on like going to one end of the pad and then just kind of going around each other with a foot switch. And then when we had that earlier 12th note section, we had very wide foot switches where we'd actually have to go between like consecutive up arrows on opposite pads or down arrows. There's even some side switches at the end, and side switches are basically the same as foot switches, except you're turned to the side when you're doing them, so they actually involve the left and right arrows.
I didn't
They're
even
really
notice
neat to
that there was
see.
some.
Yeah, in doubles, it's a little hard to actually have legitimate side switches when the whole pads are open to you.
Next tree.
That's probably actually a 10. But speaking of 10s, we have another entry from Club Fantastic, and this one's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So this is from the famous K-pop group, The Baby Powder. It's not actually. But we have our first boss song. And if you watch the cam, you'll see a lot of spinning around. And the ways the arrows are placed when the lyrics say bossy, bossy, it makes it so that they literally have to spin around, stop looking at the screen for half a second, and also make sure that they rotate the correct distance as well. Like, really watch them. It's such a funny movement. Especially when it's like in the middle of a stream of notes.
Yeah. This chart also brings back the foot switches, but there is something else coming up. The term was coined by Frums, and it's what we have decided to call foot-togethers. If a foot switch is one person using both feet to hit the same arrow, a foot together is the same arrow being hit by 2 different players. Now that involves quite a bit of coordination, because if you're trying to hit an arrow and the other person is also trying to hit an arrow, there's gonna be an accident without some proper coordination. So we'll see that coming up, and make sure to watch the foot cam as well.
It should be coming up really soon, right?
Yeah, just after this section.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
There we go. That player 2 right arrow, the player 2 left arrow is really...
Yeah, the hard part about foot-togethers like those is really getting your feet up enough, because if you're still kind of holding down, even if you think you're not on it, you might still be just applying just enough pressure to the panel to where it still is triggered, and the other player can't hit it, and it just counts as a miss for them. So if you want to sabotage your partner and make Spooty donate more, I'm just saying...
Oh, that's right. Is Spooty doing the $1 per miss?
Yep,
I believe
$1
he
per
is.
miss. Also, check out the ending poses.
Yeah, the endings of some of these couples charts put them in some very compromising positions. Kind of like JoJo poses.
Like, just rotating around each other completely.
All right. And if you thought that chart had a lot of spins, oh boy. Oh boy. You good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Spin to win.
Yeah, one spin
to
song's
win.
not enough. We gotta have more. Right, Taro?
Oh, absolutely.
So this one starts out pretty simple as a whole. It plays very, very straight from Maware. It looks very simple. And then coming up, we're going to have some very, very big spins between the downs and ups on opposite pads that you should definitely check out the player cam for. But it's really the chorus of this that really makes the file fun to watch.
I mean, if you know what Maware means, it does just mean spin. So it's pretty on brand for the
It is
song.
apt of the description.
I think this is probably my favorite couples chart that Spooty's written. Every time Spooty writes a new batch of couples charts, always at least one of them ends up as my just favorite thing ever. The motions in this chart, this is one that you have to watch the player cam for. It's just the best.
And here it comes!
I think we can get a donation while this happens.
Sure thing. We have a $10,000 donation from the Yeti. They say, hey, all Yeti here. As everyone knows, t-shirt creating cryptids love rhythm games. It is also known that we're huge fans of making GDQ last as long as possible. Let's turn the volume up and get the beats bumping even harder for the Sound Voltex Exceed Gear bonus run. Put this $10,000 towards the incentive. This is the rhythm of the night.
Let's go!
That is such a good score.
All right. We've got one more 10 to play, and this one is by the man I'm playing with himself. And this is a tune you guys will probably recognize. Shout out to Zircon, such an amazing remix.
Yeah, Zircon is amazing. So this is the Super Mario World Castle theme remix. This is a pretty infamous remix from like I think the late 2000s. We couldn't bring you the old Not Roy's Castle a cappella, but I think this should suffice.
In this chart, there's like a lot of instances of split up melody lines where one player will kind of like start the melody and the second player will finish it off and kind of go back and forth and back and forth. And that's a lot of what you see in couples charting in general, is splitting up the instrumentation or different sounds that happened in the song. So you have one player play the melody, the other person play the percussion, and then you swap it up just to keep the overall playing experience and balanced between the players. So
That's
you can
right.
see Red doing the melody right now, or Spooty, and then, I guess WinDEU was doing the melody before. But they have a little break here. You get to see a little coordination.
Oh, that is an excellent pattern. Right, so this chart actually has a lot of very detailed streams that you're going to see coming up just in a bit. You have to... So when you're writing a couples chart, because the players are constantly moving around, the gameplay is, it's definitely hugely dependent on the chart writers themselves, making sure that there are no instances where players would have to face through each other. It's a lot harder than it sounds to write good couples charts, because there's a lot on the line here. Unlike in singles charting errors can actually cause injuries to the players. Like,
Yeah. It's not just charting errors either. You see them like when they're not using the bar, they're using their arms to try and help maintain balance, but that's also difficult to do because if your arm movement goes in a bad way, you can end up bumping your partner and get injured. And I have personal experience with that. It's not pretty.
Yeah, I think Spooty mentioned in the pre-interview that couples charting is, or someone mentioned that couples charting is basically like ITG PvP mode. Or
Underside.
wow.
wow.
Gotta look out for my wallet, man.
We'll make you donate for the way off instead.
All right, so we are into the 11s territory. This one is, I gotta give a shout out to Necrodancer. It's my favorite speed game of all time, and they just had a major update today. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was very, very convenient that the new patch dropped today on like the showcase when we're playing the Zone 3-3 theme. This is taken directly from the soundtrack, so shout outs to Danny B and Family Jewels. It's just a good track to work with for a file. It's also very appropriate with having red-blue arrows because it is a fire and ice theme, but we're just going to hope that Spooty doesn't step on hot coals or WinDEU slips.
Yeah, so this is another instance of the alternating percussion that sometimes shows up in couples charts.
All this back and forth. Yeah,
That back and forth.
There's just so many like really funny movements that you just keep catching, even on like subsequent playthroughs. It's really hard to appreciate just like how intricate some of these charts are on just like a first playthrough watching their cams. Sometimes you have to like watch them multiple times to see them literally doing like a step forward, step back, like in perfect coordination. And also you can see the difficulty is continuously ramping up, as should be natural in a showcase like this. Those are long runs.
They're fast too. That's probably the densest volume of steps that we've seen today so far.
And it only goes up from here.
Speaking of which, I think we have room for some donations.
Sure thing. We have a $25 donation from K Duffles who says, "Hey, Spooty and Wendo and Taro, been waiting all marathon to see y'all crush the showcase. I know you're going to knock it out of the park. Good luck, and I hope you're having a beautiful, delightful day."
Oh no! The Animal Crossing song.
Tech sent in $100 and says, "The longtime rhythm game fan, I have to say thank you to WinDEU and SpootyBiscuit for showcasing our amazing community to the world. Much love from the Clone Hero community. Let's see some Sound Voltex. Less than 3. And we are making progress on that Sound Voltex Exceed Ear bonus game. We need your help, viewers. We can make it."
Yeah, y'all want to see it. Like, Sound Voltex is an amazing rhythm game, and you definitely want to donate for that showcase. It's going to be sick.
The one miss you got was my fault. I like this
One
song,
miss
you know?
each. On the 11 too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a good score. These are really good scores going on.
Yeah, somehow their scores are going up. Like they got like an 88 or something. The earlier scores are just going up. See
All
if you
right,
can
so
get
next
an
one,
idea on
we have
this one.
Yeah, we have to give our thanks to our commentator ZELLLOO for this one.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one to talk about. So, this is a really awesome remix that I actually charted a long time ago. This is a remix of Back in the Sewers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist, and it actually comes from the OC remix album Shell Shock, which was done back in 2014. And like we did talk a little bit about like the different video game remixes that we're using here. There's just like so much good content for it, and I just really wanted to do something for this. So I actually wrote this chart a few weeks ago. Spooty was actually organizing a couples pack so that we'll have a full set of charts for people to be able to play. It's not quite done. We're still submitting stuff and making things ready, but hopefully we'll have some good stuff like this in there when we're done. Unfortunately, this remix, even though it's a TMNT remix, it doesn't have any vocal samples, so just pretend they're saying, my toes, as they're getting stepped on.
It's such a cool movement.
Yeah, the gallop idea was something I came up with. This chart's a lot different from the other charts you've seen because most of those were written by Spooty and WinDEU. My own charting style, I wanted to do kind of the players doing mostly similar things with the runs, but kind of crossing between each other using difficult transitions. So everybody kind of has their own charting style of how they want to like write charts. And that's what makes this really fun because you can just get so many different ideas from so many different people. Like you have 5 different people writing a chart for the same song and you'll get 5 different sets of ideas. It's just really fun. This is also a very difficult 11 when I wrote it. It started out very simple, and then you have lots of movement that just builds up more and more complicated as it goes along.
Yeah,
and even the gallop section coming up just gets even more complicated than it was earlier, if you watch the foot cam.
Yeah, it's like not as fast as the previous song, but I'd argue that it's a much more relentless pace, and it just keeps you going on these long extended runs and jumping all around.
Very nice.
One miss.
One miss on Spooty's side. Wow.
Whoa.
Does that beat the practice score from earlier?
I don't think so.
89.
Yeah, they had 89-4.
Oh, that's so close.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now we're getting into.
All right, yeah, and just want to give a shout outs to the Metal Gear Rising runner for warming the crowd up for us. And congrats on the world record on the DLC. It's
Heck yeah,
really
heck
awesome.
yeah.
We've got something special just for you. And hey, for all of you who are watching from the venue, if you can give me your best Rules of Nature scream when the time comes, I would really appreciate it. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, this is where, even though I think this is still an 11, I think it's a really high 11 on the kind of difficulty rating scale. Execution difficulty goes up so much in terms of just like needing to hit arrows, needing to be able to coordinate with your partner, to not step on them. Like you need to be on point with everything. Look at this long run. Yeah, and so they'll be doing these runs like literally going around each other, around doing laps basically. And so at some points in this chart, there's even instances where they're going to have to hit every single arrow on those two pads at the same time. And they have to do it exactly as the chart says. They're very specific brackets that both of them will have to hit. And if they hit that wrong, then they're just going to be actually
In a lot of pain, to say the least.
right there.
There they are.
Yeah, they have to move across the pad with like a very specific, like, you have to angle your feet
The
a
splits.
specific way. And there are these arrows where you have to reach across the entire pad, one player on the leftmost and rightmost at the same time, while the other player is still hitting arrows. That's, you really have to like put your feet
It's
in
so
very
brutal.
specific places.
Yeah, we've got some really, really wide foot switches here. And at this BPM, with how fast it is, these foot switches are actually deceptively difficult to do because you have to cover so much ground to get between the same downs or same ups. You also might want to watch Spooty on the very last jump coming up. He's going to try and not take WinDEU down with them.
This is one of the few instances where Spooty needs to grab the bar in order to keep his balance to not take WinDEU out. We'll see that
I feel
coming
like
up.
that'd be pretty on point for
Oh,
Metal Gear Rising.
The
Splits! Here we go, more splits! Right there. And
There you go.
goes Spooty.
Beautiful.
Hanging on for dear life.
What a chart.
Orb.
Should just blame the chart writer.
I only have myself to blame. It's true.
Trust no one, not even yourself.
All right, we got one more 11 before we break into the oh so terrifying territory of 12s. This one's just such a fun song.
Are you
Rodeo no Neko.
Do you need a donation break or are you good?
Go ahead and read one.
Okay.
I'm gonna towel
One
off for a second.
donation.
Sure thing. We've got one from He Who I Am or Is Myself, who donated $250 and says, I first discovered NotITG with their last GDQ run, and the community around it is a delight to be a part of. Speaking of the community, we saw what the 14th song was, and we're very afraid. Another $50 if someone gets my name right. Well, I did my best.
I think he did a pretty good job.
You ready? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, the 14th song is the big one.
So I love this song. This song was part of Couples Bootcamp 3 tournament that was written by Spooty and me at one of the events we run. Someone in the chat described this song as a Tom and Jerry type beat. and I haven't been able to stop thinking about that since I first heard it.
You know, it's really appropriate because there is a lot of back and forth. Players kind of chase each other all around the pad. It's just a lot of also very silly Tom and Jerry-esque poses with the stretch jumps and the movement. So I think that's pretty accurate. Like, we even have the mines on the meows. So that even adds to it. And that's actually very dangerous because when those mines come up, especially the ones that cover all 8 arrow columns, they're going to have to get off the panels and be very careful. So they're either going to have to do very big jumps or just step off on the blank panels on the corners, which is not easy to do when you have a partner in the way.
Yeah, especially that landing coming back down. Someone
Fully
didn't
get
off the pads.
So is which one of them is Tom though? Is Spooty Tom or is WinDEU Tom?
I'd say they take turns.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Depending on which instrument is being highlighted by which player in the music is what we'll go with, I think.
This part where they alternate with doing the 12th rhythms is really creatively written.
It's really good.
Oh, let's see if they get the last mine dodge. Yeah!
We got the
It's a
little
cat
equals
face.
and an orb for the pass. Ooh, that life bar is getting a little spicy earlier in that song.
All right. So we're towards the end of the stretch for the main content. And we're going to up the difficulty one more time.
Into the 12s.
And much like I only have myself to blame for rules of nature, WinDEU only has himself to blame for this chart.
Yeah, I originally rated this 11, and then we played it, and then I knew I was wrong.
Yeah. This one is exhausting. And but it's another one, like, I think you guys will recognize the melody on this one. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, this is a really neat medley of stuff from Kirby Superstar by Dummons. You thought we were done with Kirby things this marathon, but nope. StepMania is going to have the last laugh on that one. This is now a Kirby game.
Right, so mines will be showing up in this chart. They've been in other charts, obviously. So what they normally are is a hazard to avoid. That's what they're often used as. But in more technical charts, what we tend to use mines as are cues or like signals for players that are saying, hey, you, get off this arrow, or do a foot switch here. And without those, it's actually quite hard to tell exactly what techniques you should be using for specific arrows. But this chart definitely uses mines for cueing things. But it's also just really hard.
As WinDEU said, originally difficulty rated as an 11 and then proved wrong by playing it exactly once, which happens a lot. I mean, difficulty is subjective, and it's often hard to tell just by staring at the arrows go up in an editor and not actually physically playing it with someone else and nearly perishing. Oh my gosh, that run! But yeah, there's some hilariously fast sequences of arrows now, this being a 12. So the node density is obviously through the roof at this point. So, and again, they're like not holding onto the bars. So the stamina that's necessary to keep this stuff up for this long, like going back and forth and everything's huge. And including all the mod content, we're like only halfway through. So they still got a long way to go.
Yeah, they really got to pace themselves. It's not just the arrow density either. There's a lot of stretches in this chart where they're having to make very wide movements, and that actually drains you quite a bit. But it's not just the stamina factor, it's also a flexibility factor, because reaching especially the far left and far right arrows, the shorter you are, the harder it gets.
Like those little stretches to the melody, where
It's
one
okay,
player's going all the way across through legs.
You don't have to be super tall to do it, though. I mean, like, WinDEU is only 5'3", 5'4", I think.
I think
so
5'5", something like that. It's
You don't
really
need to
more
be a
about getting
basketball
the good. It's more about getting the
Bar.
technique. Nice run.
That is a very good life bar.
But yeah, we're halfway through, kind of, and we would like to meet that Sound Voltex donation, get all of those donations, and we really want to see that bonus game.
Speaking of which, if you've got a donation comment to read, go ahead. We're going to need like a quick 30 seconds here.
Yeah.
Alrighty, perfect timing because we have yet another $10,000 donation from the Yeti.
Let's go.
Wow.
They say, hey all, Yeti here. I don't think you heard me last time, so I'm donating another $10,000 to make the Sound Voltex Exceed Gear bonus game happen. Can we kick off a $5 donation train to get some more GDQ? Let's go!
Donation train sounds like a lot, but I have faith. You guys can pull it off. So, our next song, our second to last in the non-modded portion, Scarlet Tempest. I picked this song just because it has a tie to speedrunning for me. This song is from the game East Origin, which was actually one of the first games I ever speedran. So shout outs to the East community for everything they've done that's led to me being here playing this song for you. This is extremely hard though, so we'll see you guys on the other side. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, this is another 12. It's from the Guilty Fire area in the game, and this track is just awesome, and also makes for a really difficult 12. The players are going to be blazing around the pad just like you would in a game of East Origin.
Yeah, the players are going to be circling around each other pretty quickly, and also doing a bunch of spins. Spooty in the red is going to be doing some spins right now, and then WinDEU is going to be doing spins a little bit later. So it was described by a friend of ours, Telperion, who we received a donation from earlier, as trust falls on a roller coaster, which that's a pretty excellent way of describing couples as a whole, I'd say.
Trust falls, but on a roller coaster, but also PvP.
Competitive trust falls?
Competitive roller coaster trust falls, I guess.
Is that going to be a new gameplay mod?
Yeah, you can see these foot switches that we mentioned earlier on, and they're fast. Like, much faster than I think we've seen anything. And then they both happen on the same pad, where both players have the foot switch on the same pad, which is essentially a foot switch together, I think, which is a mouthful. Yeah, there's also plenty of difficulty crossovers during these runs, where the players' bodies are like completely sideways, and it is a really tiring pattern, but it is pretty common in doubles, just really hard and stamina draining when they're done in these fast runs.
Yeah, it's already hard to do at 155 BPM just by yourself, but when you have a partner to work around and you have to kind of curb your movement to not hit them, now it becomes even more draining and it requires a lot of control, and stamina is a big factor with this file because it's just almost non-stop runs and movement.
Wow.
Ooh. Shine!
Oh, that was very close in the middle, and we got it.
Life bar's looking a little sus.
Boom.
All right. There's one more song left. We need another like 30 seconds, so if you've got a donation, take it away.
Yeah, get a little break in.
Sure thing. We've got $100 from ZELLLOOO, who says, hey, Spooty and WinDEU, both of you are wonderful community leaders, and the work you've put into dance game content over the years is nothing short of inspiring. Glad to call you both some of my best friends, and happy to see you on the big stage together. P.S. Happy birthday, WinDEU. One step closer to being a dance game grandpa.
Thanks a lot, man.
Y'all both are very welcome.
So, the final song in our unmodded lineup. It's a pretty unassuming title. It's B. That's how you read that. It's B. So, you can get your Bs, whether it's just the single letter, or the hiragana, or the katakana, or the emojis, or, whether they're the letter B or the flying B. Go ahead and get them ready in chat. And don't be fooled by this song's cutesy appearance. There's a reason we're doing this last. This is the hardest song in the unmodded content lineup. There's a very good chance we will see our first fail on this song due to one specific part, and I think you'll know what part it is when we get there. You ready?
Ready's all over me.
All right.
All right, well, get ready because, honey, this song will be quite the buzz, if you know what I mean.
Boo! Boo this man. That pun stings.
Oh, come on. I've beehive this whole block so far. I'll stop bugging you about it, though.
I wish I had something for it.
So it's a very cute Mimi song that was submitted to a Sound Voltex contest. And this one starts out very straight, but it also involves a lot of very difficult gallop parts that we're going to see together where the players are going to alternate gallops on the same arrow by swapping their foot positions over and over and over. And this is just the tip of the iceberg right here. It gets worse, like right here.
Yep, the synchronized gallops.
Yeah, this song really takes the concept of foot-togethers to its logical conclusion.
Yeah,
Nice.
if you have not heard this song, well, it's called B for a reason, if you haven't already noticed by the lyrics, which are just B. And specifically this part.
I hope you like the longest foot together we're going to see in this entire marathon.
Oh, they're
And
comboing.
No way.
They're comboing.
No way.
They're still comboing. Oh no.
That's a lot of misses. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's definitely not a clear, but they did manage to clear it once before, so...
I think these two are the only human beings to have passed this. And actually, most of the couples content out there, to be completely fair.
There's a couple more put-togethers right at the end as well.
Just a little cute small ones.
Aww.
Yeah.
But if you fall even the slightest bit out of sync or aren't lifting your foot immediately after a tap, you just start getting business.
Yeah, it's a case of sabotaging your partner by accident.
I'm really happy to have made it 80% of the way through that jackhammer though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The combo kept up for a really long period of time. That was still really impressive.
You're also getting fantastics.
You kind of have to.
All right, well, that's
All right,
the final song in our unmodded content.
That was time for the unmodded block, by the way. And,
We really want to appreciate everybody who donated for the mods incentive coming up because you're going to see a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Absolutely. Get that Sound Voltex incentive met too.
Yeah, just throwing out there, we'd really love to see Sound Voltex. So make sure you get those donations in because, Sound Voltex it's an awesome rhythm game. Both WinDEU and I play it. And we have literally a top player in the world showcasing it today. So you definitely want to see it. At tippy top level, Sound Voltex play is absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually don't have that much time because the mod section is only around 20 minutes. So we actually need to kick this into high gear.
Yeah.
I believe.
Let me get a little bit of hydration, and then we will get started on the mod showcase. If you've got a donation or two to read, go right ahead.
Oh, we sure do. The love is coming in here from the Rhythm Games community for y'all. It looks like Gurf donated $1,000 and says, WinDEU and Spooty, you have been such an inspiration for so many ITG and StepMania players over the years. You guys are the best. Stay fantastic. Naf donated $25 and said, Thursday? That means I'm heading into a long weekend, and to properly enjoy such a long weekend, I made sure to click Add Incentive, then Sound Voltex, and I clicked Add one more time. Bam, closer to fully enjoying some time off with a game I've never heard of before. Oh, but you will hear about it once we meet this incentive. It's a great, great game. You all are going to love it when we get it. We're over halfway there. We've got $105,000 just about out of that $200,000 incentive.
Okay.
Speaking of hydration, hopefully, audience, chat, viewers, make sure you all stay hydrated as well.
Stay hydrated. Take a sip of that water if you haven't in a little while. Make sure you're taking care of.
Get up and stretch if you need to, too.
And are we all good to start on the mod showcase then?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yep, I think we're good.
All right, yeah, I think we are hydrated and ready to jump into it. So we've got a okay, thank you. We've got 20 minutes, so we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a boss rush through some of this, some of the stuff we have in this extra folder. We're just gonna try and hammer it out. So this is mostly boss songs from the Couples Bootcamp 3 project that Taro mentioned previously. And the boss songs, well, they do some funny things, and you guys like absolutely are gonna love what you're gonna see. I will give a quick warning. Those who have any sensitivity to flashing lights or prone to motion sickness, that sort of stuff, may want to proceed with caution. Just giving you guys the heads up right now. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and just slam through a few of these right now. You ready, WinDEU?
Yeah.
All right. So mod showcase starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, mods, we're back from AGDQ, except we have couples mods this time. If you remember, I mentioned back at the start that the mods would be pretty devastating in couples mode. Oh boy.
Yeah, so all of the mods charts you're about to see in this tournament were written as collabs between me and Spooty. There's no rhythm skin, which is one of the main things that makes mods possible to read, so that what would normally be the case would be the arrows would have colors that show you the timing of them. That's not the case here, so generally the design of these mods has to be quite a little bit more restrained compared to usual. The main gimmick of this chart is actually context switching, where players will have to different playfields will phase in and out of existence, and you have to switch which one you're looking at without dropping your combo. It's quite a bit more distracting in couples because you both have to be chunking and not losing the information. Otherwise, obviously, you're going to end up in the wrong spot, and we've already been over that. That's very dangerous.
It's also amplified specifically in this file because this file is one of the few that has several gradual speed changes, like this one right here, getting faster and faster, and that makes timing and parsing all the effects even more difficult because now you're having to worry about, am I going too fast or too slow as it's speeding up or slowing down.
A little funny ending there.
No more orbs, these are bosses. Wow.
Oh. There we go.
All right,
man.
we're cruising through these. We need those donations.
Private Eye is definitely one of my favorite ones that I've written. So the gimmick here, as you can see, it's being illustrated by the little preview at the start. The red arrows are only visible in the pink area, and the blue arrows are only visible in the blue area. So you gotta read around the blotches to make sure you're not missing any info about where you need to be. So the way this actually works is pretty interesting. I actually have a setup where it's there's 3 different cameras, all pointing at the same place. One of the cameras only has player 1's notes on it. The other camera only has player 2's notes on it, and the third one has both players' notes and the background. There's actually a shader in the background that's behind everything that's got these colored regions on it, and the shader looks at the colored region to know which camera to draw in which portion of the screen. So you can just put whatever shapes you want in that background image, and it will pick the correct notes to draw, and that was a very fun, effective program because you can sort of put any shapes you want and then make these crazy little effects. This rings part was quite fun to make.
Get hypno-dazed a little bit.
How long did it take for you to like come up with the ideas for this one?
Well, I've wanted to mod this one since like 2013, honestly. But once I started making it, I made the whole thing in like 48 hours, I would say. Full combo?
Wow.
That's the first full combo of the event.
Y'all gotta
and
get
it's
on a mods chart. 97? What? Are you serious?
What is that score?
How is that the best score you've gotten today? And it's on the mods.
We've never full comboed a mod file before. This is completely new to us too.
It has indeed never happened before.
Getting some world records real quick.
That is legit a world record, yeah.
Yeah.
We're wasting time gawking at our score. Let's move on.
Oh boy, we're in Neutrino. This one's hard. We're bumping up the difficulty again. So this is Neutrino by Hummer, although the artist name can be mistaken as something like Huir or Hoozer or Who Sigma or... Anyways, this is a reimagining of a mods chart that's done, or that was done for singles play only by a creator named Siri. The mods are vastly toned down from their original, though, in order to accommodate the fact that we're playing couples instead, and we're missing a lot of information. And you can't move the arrows around as wildly as singles play. At the same time, they're still moving around, though.
That makes sense. There's still plenty of wild stuff going on in this couples version. You've still got like between the legs stuff going on, and the speed boosts up to like I think 205 BPM right here. It gets more and more complicated. Like coming up, the players are just gonna kind of be orbiting around each other. One player following a specific 16th rhythm, and the other just kind of staying in the middle while the other player dances around. It's just really cool, but it's so hard to process, especially with the two different playfields coming from different sides.
Yeah. And all that glitching and artifacting, that's actually happening on the screen. It's not any Twitch or stream errors or anything. There's legitimate like glitch effects applied to these files.
There's still one little surprise at the end, though. We got a little bit of a funny trill.
The I am right next, or I am crossed inside of your hitbox drill.
We got one more before the really long stuff. And the 13th, we haven't seen a 13 yet. We will see a couple of them.
Oh, we're actually doing it! Yes!
I love
Shout out to
Laprima.
Sound Voltex, where this song is from.
Yep, we got the Sound Voltex block coming up right after this, so what better way to jump into it than to prepare y'all for it. So this was actually this was originally one of the hardest songs in Sound Voltex when it was first added to the game. It was a 16, but it became the first 20 in Sound Voltex, so those were waiting for my reactions to 20s. This is technically a 20.
Shout out to
Here
the
we
custom
have
judgments
long
at the top,
runs.
too.
Oh, right. The judgment is actually a reference to, well, it's the judgment from DJ Max, but this is a reference to the villain from the first tournament that I ran back in 2012, UKSRT 1. The character is the final boss from UKSRT 1, and she has the orb! She has the last orb we need. I actually modified the sprite just for GDQ to give her the orb because we modified the theme a little bit of the program. So this part has the playfields split apart from each other, and I did not. When I was writing this section, like Spooty had to assure me that this was possible because I wasn't sure because I couldn't really read it, but Spooty said it was fine, so it's probably fine.
It gets
Here we
even
have-
harder here with the laser effect because now the colors are being inverted. It's hard. And just for good measure, we have one more split funny drill right here.
This goes through the legs. Oh, the movement is so good. Boss defeated.
Oh,
Not
nice
even
pass.
close.
Not even
So
close to
good.
failing.
You're back.
All right, 2 songs left to go, and they're
Only
the
2
hardest.
songs.
They're the hardest ones we brought.
They're also the longest.
Are we having some donations before them?
Sure thing. We've got a few to let you cool down after those great performances. We got $5 from Anonymous that says, cute chat, $5 train, let's go. Elise and Mom and Dad sent $15 and said, 3 tickets for the $5 train, please. My parents are watching GDQ for the first time. Let's go. Joshua sent in $500 and says, let's go Sound Voltex. And Captain Carbon sent in $100 and said, let's go Spooty and Window. Always exciting to see our rhythm game community getting represented on the big stage. And it's amazing to see you all team up on some wild couples content. Thank you for always representing the mods and broader ITG scene with class. Now let's see some Sound Voltex.
We really do have to get that donated, get that donation goal met, because we do not have a lot of time left. There's 2 songs left, and they total about 8.5 minutes. So
Yeah, this song runs at a blistering 220 BPM and is twice as long as pretty much everything we've played up to this point. We're gonna need all your energy from chat to get through this and the next one.
Yeah, y'all thought the 12s were hard. The 13s that they picked for this are quite leg-breaking.
You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, if you play TDR, you will absolutely know the song, but you might not have heard the long version, which goes places the original didn't seem like it was gonna go. And honestly, it's really good.
yeah, so like not only do we have these like crazy mods going on, the chart itself is also nothing to sneeze at. This is like a difficult chart as well as difficult mod. Like it's earned its 13 rating, but when I made it, I honestly rated this 20. I didn't expect anyone to actually pass it, but then like WinDEU and Spooty, the absolute chads they are, like they really pulled it out like during one session just randomly. We weren't expecting anything like that, and they got consistent at it as well, so it's pretty likely that we'll see them pass it here in front of everyone.
It's not 100%, so like actually they still need all the energy that we can give. Ooh, and comm section in black and white though.
So classy.
It's a classy and also really cool gimmick where you still preserve the you know what color, or you know that your arrows are different than the other players, but in a slightly different way.
I really do like the effect of like one playfield staying still while the other moves around when they have something to do. Like that's such a good effect.
Oh yeah, when they have specifically something accenting with their arrows, that playfield moves to that. Like this.
Yeah, I meticulously animated this whole section. It's got a kind of like Tom and Jerry vibe to it. I had a lot of fun animating that. Big stretch.
And just to add insult to injury, a whole bracket on top of that.
So now the comm section is over. We've got some hard mods coming up.
And some brutal steps to go along with it.
Yeah, Spooty said earlier this was 220 BPM. There are a lot of 16 like little bursts and mini drills all over the place. They will wear you down and they will get tired by the end. We even have the reach throughs while the other person's bursting, which makes it even more difficult to get your legs under them.
Safely, might I add. More difficult to do it safely without destroying each other.
So now we have the boss refights. So this is actually a character that was going to be in the showcase but was cut for time constraints. But you're going to see them going through different mod files in sequence, and
The driven drop is so
The driven drop is great.
a rude swap there.
Yeah, so the driven drop is an old set of mods from the original ITG courses where the arrows stay stationary, but the playfields move down to match them. It's such a good effect.
We're going back into the
Effect went
library.
so fast. It's so
And
easy
we're-
to just literally get to see it fall over. And then it's...
We're throwing in the shader as well, because, you know, everyone loves a good boss refight. Great way to cap off the event. All right, heading into the final section. All right, this gimmick.
This is
So-
so evil.
This is so mean.
So I actually wanted to put it. I was going to put this in Neutrino, but Spooty said it was too much. However, this one, bus driver. This one didn't. This one was sent in really late, so I put it in, and Spooty didn't have time to tell me no.
Oh, this ending. You like
And just
actually
one
can't tell
last
me
thing.
so.
We're gonna get one last 8-hole to finish.
No, was
That was
that
really
Do
good.
we get it?
That might be a pass.
Yes! Yes! Let's go!
Let's go!
84! That's actually a world record. 84 is a world record.
It wasn't
Oh my
even
gosh.
close to fail. It was such a good run.
Our previous best was at 82%. We just got a new record on that.
Yeah, that's a world record.
Oh my lord.
Wow.
It was so good.
Congratulations.
All right. And we've got one more guy for you guys. Just as soon as I stop, all the sweat from forming a lake on the pad. And it's
Do we have time
it's
for
honestly, yeah. Go ahead. If you got one donation, go ahead.
Yeah, one donation.
Alrighty, we've got $2,000 from Shy Guy 32 who says, "Let's see this Sound Voltex Exceed Gear run happen." We're there. We've got to $120,000 already out of that $200,000 incentive.
Oh, but we literally have just this one last song in this mod
Yeah,
showcase.
we got
Yes,
5
please,
minutes.
please donate.
Please.
You really, really
It's
want to see
so
this game.
important. It's so important.
Yeah, on that note, our last song would not exist without Sound Voltex. So
That is true.
I really want to stress how much I'd love to see Sound Voltex played on screen today.
Yeah, our final song is actually a medley of songs from Sound Voltex. The KAC 2013 Ultimate Medley Extend Historia Sound Voltex. Empress site.
Bless you.
And this one is definitely another degree harder than what we just played. You can see it has another minute on the length, so it'll be a rough one to get through. But we are gonna do our best to hopefully not die in the verse drill.
Yeah,
All right,
I believe.
Come on, let's get this final pass as well.
are you ready?
Ready?
All right. Last
Let's
song
go.
for us.
Let's
do it.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, if you remember the AGDQ showcase, you might recognize a lot of things. I'll let you
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, that's right. So this was the capstone of Rumble in the Prairie 11. And most of the charts that were written for Rumble in the Prairie 11 were in the AGDQ 2022 marathon. So this is pretty much it's basically a boss refight of the 2022 AGDQ marathon. So we're gonna see a lot of characters from that. This one is quite a bit harder than Endymion, which we just saw. I didn't intend Endymion to be passed, but at least I sort of knew what I was doing in terms of writing hard couples mods for Endymion. This one,
Shout outs to WinDEU.
Shoutouts to WinDEU. So this section is a reference to a chart that WinDEU wrote called Pieces of a Dream, which is a very divisive chart in the community in terms of its difficulty. It's generally quite hard. So I just took that gimmick and put it on couples, because what could go wrong? And It's so much harder on couples than it is on singles. Oh my
wonder why.
goodness.
We got the return of the Shane Cube right
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you really like this character, huh, Daikyi?
Like, how long? I am so sorry.
And we
it's
also-
really cute with all the character interactions that are kind of taken place in this file. Since MBC3 was an event where every single song had a character associated with it and like their own little gimmick. So I think Tara had a lot of fun matching these up together.
Yeah, I literally just mashed a bunch of assets from MBC3 together to make those.
I mean,
So-
I guess it's appropriate as a sound text medley.
Yeah,
It's also extended too. Like the original medley that's in the actual game is quite a bit shorter. This actually was extended specifically for that event, I think.
All right.
yeah, it was a medley made by Spooty.
All right, here
well,
we
extended.
go.
I hope y'all like verse 16.
I hope you all like low bit rates. Ooh. Second one.
That's on.
Oh, that's a combo through. The last one.
Once more with feeling.
Oh, WinDEU comboed that. Oh my gosh.
He was even talking about in practice how he was having trouble getting out of that last drill, and he just nailed it right now.
my
wow.
gosh. Oh, at this section, you need to watch the player cam. These are the fastest foot motions with one football. Like they're literally just flying around the pad. Oh my god.
All right, so y'all probably remember this. This was probably the most impressive set piece from the MBC3 showcase, and it's back. We got this whole scene with the underground catacombs and the giant butterfly lady.
Boing.
We've also got more character interactions. The Pop-Tart cat. Final section.
Probably the hardest section as well. If you remember Sailing Force, the playfields will start doing exactly what they did without caring that it is a couples chart. And then something even worse happens. Taro,
I have
Well, I mean,
objections to these mods.
I put them on alternating color cycles. It's fine. It's readable. They're different colors.
Oh,
I
we have
think
some
need
zeros
to
and ones.
Apply Windows Update. I think we downgraded somehow. Oh, we're back.
Final section. The boss fight with Hootsie himself, Speedy's character, versus everyone from MBC3 at the same time. This final section I would definitely describe as just way too much.
Like, oh, we gotta hope for these steps. These are so brutal.
Oh, final stretch.
And then they start going into each other.
Time will be coming up in about 32 beats.
Get ready with time.
4,
Time.
3, 2, 1, time.
Time.
Let's go!
Yes!
Oh my gosh!
So that was so close!
We almost got pieces.
Oh my gosh!
Barely! What section was that?
Which section was that?
That was take a step forward. Pieces.
Oh, it was pieces. Woo.
Well, that is all we've got for you guys today. I couldn't have asked for it to end on a better note.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go, I just want to give shout outs to the whole ITG, non-ITG, StepMania community. We just had a massive, like, multi-month timing focused tournament that just wrapped up this past weekend, ITL Online 2022. And I want to just give my undying gratitude again to all of the people behind that, because honestly, without that driving me to play consistently and to keep pushing my limits and to keep growing and improving as a player, the level of performance we just put on would not have even been remotely possible.
I do want to give some specific shout out to Brother Mojo specifically, because he's basically the person that's been there with me mods wise and like doubles wise since pretty much the very beginning, and like we just produce content for both of those modes, and like I know mods wise like my content would not be where it is without him, so huge shout outs to him.
And yeah, any notes from our commentators? Any final comments that you guys would like to pitch in?
Oh, trans rights.
Trans rights.
Trans rights.
Happy Pride, I hope you all had a good month.
And also happy birthday to my pal WinDEU. Yeah, clearing the KC Medley as our send off.
I mean, you got a B+ for birthday plus. It's perfect.
WinDEU's been fantastic to work with on this. Like I have been organizing and writing couples charts for so long, but it's for the longest time I never actually got to play the charts I was making because I was running the tournaments. So I was busy organizing that, and by the time they were done, it'd be time to pack up the venue and go home. And he's just having him around, having him with me, it's just been wonderful to finally get to get to actually play my own stuff and realize that yes, this is actually fun. I'm not just making people suffer.
Yeah, it's been so fun playing these couples charts as well and practicing them.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just just kind of just want to end on a positive note. That when we lift each other up like this, we can accomplish just so much, exponentially more than we could on our own. So, support each other, whether it's, just people in your speedrunning community or your family or your friends, just help each other out, make sure you show each other love. And on that note, I've got a birthday cake that I made that I have to get in this man's belly, so we're gonna end there. Thanks again, GDQ, for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you for having us.
Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you around.
Thanks a bunch.
And thank you to both of you for that incredible display of skill. I wanted to get to this donation from Twitch of $40,000. Thank you so much for that incredible donation, Twitch. And with that, we are at $173,000 out of the $200,000 incentive for Sound Voltex Exceed gear. We have to take a short break here, but we'll be right back with more SGDQ 2022. And we're back with more SGDQ 2022. Just wanted to get one more donation in here from Sheepy, who donated $20 and said, $5 train with 4 chickets. Choo choo. Thank you again, Spooty, and the rest of the rhythm game community for keeping the scene alive. Let's get that incentive met. We're up to $179,000 out of that $200,000 incentive for Sound Voltex Exceed gear. We got to take another short break, but we'll be right back.
Since 1971, Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, has been providing healthcare to vulnerable people all around the world.
Our daily work is a struggle. It is intensely medical and it's intensely personal.
Amid disasters, epidemics, or conflicts, our teams are there, providing treatment to anyone who needs it. We go where the need is greatest.
We do the work for MSF because we want to serve the people.
Whether it's triage, surgery, childbirth, vaccinations, mental health, or chronic diseases, we put patients' needs first. We campaign for medicines to be available, affordable, and effective for the people we treat. We respond to medical emergencies worldwide. We're only able to do that because of support from people like you. Join us to help those who need it most. We are Doctors Without Borders.
And we're back. Dr. John W. sent in the $25 and says, we cannot sleep on the bonus game when it's in the rhythm block. Sound Voltex Exceed gear hype. SP3000 sent in $250 and says, Sound Voltex, it is an absolutely mind-blowing game, and SGDQ got the best running the community has to offer. Let's get that bonus game incentive met and keep rhythm block going. I agree, it's not a block if it's just one game. Big Ray sent in $25 and just says, bonus game, more GDQ. We have a $5 donation from Anonymous who says, if the Yeti can donate $10,000 twice, then I can get the $5 hype train rolling. Let's do this, chat. Hype! He who am or is myself redonated and says, we want Sound Voltex. Make sure you add the incentive to your donation. Great tip. Volpatrino sent in $5 and says, $5 train for Sound Access Volt Gear. X Voltus Gear Sound, Gear Sound X Volt? Whatever the rhythm one is. Thank you for that donation. Blue Cheetah sent in $1,000. That donation just reads, Sound Voltex. I can get behind that. And it's time. You love it. We love it. It's time for the Red Bull Daily Recap. Take it away.
Welcome, everyone, to the Red Bull Daily Recap. We are your mix masters, Jay Hobbs and Spike Vegeta, because we couldn't stop beatboxing while we were waiting to go.
Dropping so many filthy beats in the last half hour getting set up. Y'all should have been there. No, you shouldn't have.
We are here to break down a few of the games and runs and moments that we just thought were super exciting from throughout the day, just in case you missed anything and you need to go back and find something to watch. So let's kick things off right off the bat with Banjo-Tooie. This was just a very neat run. Duck did a really great job with it. Banjo-Tooie has developed a ton over the course of just the last several years, since the last time it's been shown. And what we're seeing here in this clip is this incredibly precise clip that they had to pull off. They're talking about in the interview, it's something that is just absurdly difficult to do. I believe there's a frame perfect input mixed in there, but also pixels are important here. Like finding the exact spots to aim. They're able to clip through, make a massive skip in the game, and just continue onwards. It was super fun. Definitely fun one to check out.
Yeah, it was great seeing there how the relief on his face when he popped up from the other side. Super cool looking trick. Another super cool looking run was from Swordsman Kirby earlier today with Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I believe we got an image right here of just exactly what the controller setup was right here, where we had a Super NES controller actually taped on top of the GameCube and then had to tilt that sucker around in any which direction to be able to control it in any way, shape, or form. And you watch the platforming here, just absolute precision
look at the
platforming.
controller.
Yeah, look at this thing. Had to have it taped up there so he had access to more potential inputs to make any of this work.
Incredible.
I do believe we got a clip coming up right here where you're just gonna be seeing, like, it's not one of those where the platforming looks sloppy or anything. It looks like as if you were just watching someone using a controller, cutting corners all over the place, going really fast.
We got people hyped for Kirby, but we also got people hyped because we have just met the bonus game, Sound Voltec Succeed Gear by Levier, and thank you all so much for making that happen. We are super excited about it. That should be a fun one. Woo, to wrap up that Kirby clip, I mean, I think you're right. It's all about like almost watching the camera more than the game in that one. Just watching Kirby have to do all, Swordsman Kirby that is, having to do all that tilt.
Swordsman Kirby in Kirby. It's Kirbyception, but it was super, super fun to watch. If you didn't catch that or the Banjo-Tooie run, make sure you check it out.
Yeah, and in the middle of our Red Bull Daily Recap, as always, we've definitely done this every single time and have not just made it up halfway through the week.
Love it.
We are going to be looking at our daily prizes with our third Mixmaster, Sent.
Yo, break it down for me, Spike. Hello, everyone. Now, we got some real Spike feedback. He does this all the time during our segments.
He asked me to break it down.
Motivation. But for real, everyone, I want to tell you all about some of the amazing prizes that you could win. But before I do, I just want to get another round of the applause from the audience because we did hit that incentive to get Sound Voltec for the marathon. You all are going to be so happy that this happened. Let me tell you, Sound Voltec is the spiritual and kind of legitimate successor to 2DX, widely considered one of the greatest rhythm games of all time. Leviern is one of the best players in the world. We are going to see some absolutely absurd tracks. I have been excited for this all week. I got everyone on the couch with me ready to watch the run. Let's talk about some of these prizes. So from Fangamer and Extremely OK Games, we have a super cool golden strawberry pin. Don't have it next to me, but we could pop up a picture of it down there, somewhere in one of these corners. Take a look at it. Super cool. $5 minimum donation available from now until the end of Borderlands 2. All the prizes I'm going to be telling you about are available from now until the end of Borderlands 2. So make sure to get those donations in. From Orchid Petal Designs, we have this absolutely lovely Princess Zelda themed ornament. Come on, we zoom in on it right here. We can see it kind of hanging from its stand here. It got the Hylian crest on it, as well as a bunch of lovely false gemstones inspired by Zelda's dresses from various Zelda games. Absolutely fantastic. $10 minimum donation. Make sure to get those donations. It's also for a $10 minimum donation from Chaos Crochet Shop. We have this adorable Amigurumi Yoshi. Like, come on, everyone loves Yoshi. $10 minimum donation. It's super cool. Thank you so much to Chaos Crochet Shop for sending this out to us. $15 minimum donation from Pearl Pop. We have a lovely perler scene of Toad playing a SNES. What more could you want? It's Toad. Toad's just relaxing, having a good time. This is perlers, by the way. This is bead art, and it is basically see-through. I can see the screen. I can see all of you through this. That's how thin this perler melt is. It is absolutely incredible. You can see it as the camera zooms in on there, all those little holes in the back. That's the sign of an incredibly well-made perler. $15 minimum donation. Thank you so much to ProPop for sending that out to us. From Extremely OK Games and Fangamer, we also have this lovely plush set of Madeline and Badeline. Or in fact, is it Badeline and Madeline?
Ooh.
Oh wait, no,
Salacious. Oh.
they're labeled. Never mind.
Okay.
This would be Madeline. But these two are absolutely adorable. You get the set of two along with their jackets for a $15 minimum donation. Got to make sure to set them down on opposite sides of the couch. They're not talking right now. It happens. Don't worry about it. They're going to be good eventually. From Crochet Away by Kaylin, we have a lovely Tiny Tina dice bundle. Comes with a set of Tiny Tina dice, all the dice you need from a D4 up to a D20, as well as a Tiny Tina themed pin. They look absolutely fantastic. They scream Borderlands. They are, in that, beautiful like comic book watercolor style of the games. Incredible set of dice there, $20 minimum donation. Make sure to get your donations in before Borderlands 2. I'm going to tell you right now, $50 is what you're going to want to donate because we're going to get into some of our bigger prizes here. From Extremely OK Games dev team, we have signed copies of Celeste and Towerfall, signed by the Extremely OK Games dev team, including Maddie Thorson. They are it's so cool. It's so cool when devs just reach out and are like, hey, why don't we just sign some merch and send it over and support the event? That is something I love to see. Super excited for the Celeste run later tonight as well. $25 minimum donation. You could be taking home signed copies of both Celeste and Towerfall from Extremely OK Games. From our good friends over at DX Racer, we have a couple of DX Racer Craft Series custom gaming chairs. And we have a few here that we can show off, but you'll be able to choose your own from a list of all of their available designs. There are some really cool ones. My personal favorite's one that we actually have here. It's the Lucky Koi Fish, but why don't we bring them out? Start the chair parade!
Chair parade. Chair parade. Chair parade. Chair parade.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Parade.
Okay, hold on.
Whoa.
Hold up.
The chants have stopped because, come on, look at the chairs. These designs are great. I really love the Hello Human on the back of the cat one there, the pink one there. It's super adorable. $25 minimum donation. We have a couple of those to give away. Again, you get to choose your own design from what they have available in stock, and they are super awesome. Thank you so much to DX Racer for making that possible. And finally, from our good friends, Amber and Zandra, for a $50 minimum donation, we have sitting on the couch right next to me, a Satori Decafumo plush. Now, Fumos are a style of plush really popular in Japan, usually of Toho characters, but sometimes of other things. Decafumos are massive versions of them. As you can tell, the Satori is about sitting at the same height as I am here. Why don't I just go ahead and grab her real quick? Come on. This thing is huge. These things sell out in days, and then they are completely impossible to find. This is a collectible of the highest order. For some reason, this feels very natural, and I'm not sure if that's all right. But look, I like the Fumos. They're adorable. They're huggable. It's a $50 minimum donation. Thank you so much to Amber and Zandra for sending it out to us. It is incredible. Hobbs, we got so many amazing prizes here. As always, if you want to learn more about them, see some great pictures, you can head over to gamesdonequick.com. Check out the website because it's got all the information you need on upcoming speedruns in the marathon, on upcoming prizes you can win by donating, and of course, on all the amazing incentives that you can put those donations towards. Incentives like Sound Voltex, which you know what? We're going to get to see right after the end of the daily recap.
Ooh. We're looking forward to that one. Spike, I need you to try something with me real quick, okay? Because we just had that awesome chair parade, and I just need to see. Pie parade. Pie parade. Pie parade. Okay, it doesn't work.
Dang it.
I was really hoping, man.
That would have been sick. We're not allowed to have food back here.
I wanted to summon it. Okay, but let's go ahead and start talking about the rest of the games that we wanted to highlight from Thursday.
Yep.
Of course, gotta love games with just sweet, slick, fluid movement. And one of those games is Solar Ash. Brian Otto
it was
ran it
so good.
earlier today. It was amazing. Look at just the pose there, the gamer hands. He's getting ready. Super ready for that clip. Let's go ahead and roll the clip, though. We're going to show. Oh, wait, hold on.
There were so many gamer hands.
We got other gamer hands here.
You cannot tell me these two are not brothers right here. Brothers in arms, because look at the gamer hands coming out. You can't tell the difference. We got Matty Inc. on the left. We got Brian on the right. We got Matty. We got Brian. We got Matty. We got Brian. Look at Matty. Look at Brian. Look at Matty. Look at me.
All right. Well, let's stop looking at Matty and Brian and let's look at the game because Solar Ash was super cool. We we got to see just a lot of really fluid movement in it. It's all based around this kind of skating mechanic. The whole thing is super fluid. We could see here up on a rail and then jumping on up. And as we kind of work up to it here, there were so many just immense launches and big skips and stuff like that in this run. And they were really using the time slowdown, the bullet time mechanic. So you see them kind of set up here once, and then we're going to launch into it by getting this little slowdown, stacking a bunch of speed, and then launching big time, getting a hop off the island there, and skipping way over the double jump, preserving the speed as well, and just landing way out in the distance. It's not even over, just keeps moving and just sliding all through. Absolutely loved this game, thought the movement was incredible.
Yeah, this is definitely one of your, if you never heard about Solar Ash 4, go back, watch the run. It was beautiful. But I also want to talk a little bit about a always classic block that we have here at GDQs. You have in the winter, we have Awful Block. Here in the summer, we got the Silly Block done quick. Tons of awesome games all throughout the morning. Games like Jimmy Johnson's, Anything with an Engine, Thunder in Paradise. And we had Incredible Crisis, which is, I think, a video game. I'm not 100% sure, but just like there were so many weird things going on. If you just want the weirdest video game experience of your life, make sure to check it out. There were just lots of weird, like they were going down an elevator, hitting buttons. They were getting like refrigerators and stuff dropped on them. Super bonkers mini games, but no matter what, it was always a lot of fun. You can see right here, and it was also very difficult. Little mini games like this where they're having to hit all of these inputs as it's coming in, and nailed it first try. So just because we're silly, having a good time, also some really high-level gameplay going on. I know we also had a couple of the pictures I do want to jump into, because just like Silly Block, we're always trying to have fun here at GDQs, and it's very evident from a lot of these photos that we are having a good time. LLK always doing amazing artwork on the easels right here that we get to have on stage with us during so many of the different interviews. Just a few examples right there. Runner, different gamers just having fun in the back, in the
practice room. It's been great to see people actually getting to play and just race each other impromptu in the practice room, or just, you know, kind of grinding their speed games. So many different moments. And then of course, we had a big moment today, pretty big one. We hit $1 million raised today.
Amazing.
Thanks everybody for making that happen. Congrats. $1 million raised for Doctors Without Borders.
$1 million during Jal Bagel's run, and I just want to say this really has been one of the coolest audiences we've ever had. Y'all are small, but you are a passionate bunch, and we appreciate y'all being here for so many runs throughout the marathon. I think that image also puts that across right there. So genuinely, thank you all.
It absolutely does. Oh, it's good to be back. Thank you all so much. And thank you at home for watching the Red Bull Daily Recap. We are going to get on out of here and let everybody get excited for our next run at Sound Voltec Exceed Gear. Bye.
Woo!
Back over here with me, we've got Yummy Orange Slushy, who sent in $5 and said, "This is the dono train that will pierce the heavens." Thank you so much for that donation. And it looks like we have another short break.
Man, I'm tired of solitaire.
Did you know? The Yeti has an arcade called Yeti Station.
An arcade? Let's see what they got.
The Patagio sent in $25 and says, grew up playing DDR/Pump It Up. Love rhythm games and dance games. Happy to see this genre in GDQ this year. Big Ace the Gamer sent in $50 and says, what's up, folks? Tuning into my first GDQ this year. Rhythm games are my favorite, so I had to contribute to the Sound Voltex incentive. Keep up the great work, everyone. We have a donation of $25 from the Philosopher's Legacy that sent in Metal Gear, Arsenal Gear, Exceed Gear. Oh, we've already met it? Then this is to go even further beyond. To the moon, Moonberry. That's in reference to our new Celeste Collect the Moonberry incentive. We've got $700 out of $20,000 for that incentive, and it is the game after Sound Voltex Exceed Gear, of which I've been told we are ready to go to. So, Laverne, take it away.